Hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Silent Run. I hope you all are doing well today. Having a pretty good one myself here, unusually. I know it can be so tough to just exist right now. And so, just know that if you woke up today, you're doing great. And speaking of doing well today, we found a Floor Zero Apotheosis as the Silent. Boy, is that insane. Very happy about that. And immediately afterwards, I was like, man, maybe I should have gone right here and done the Super Elite, because we're so strong now. But I was already, in my head, committed to the left path, so that's, it's fine. Of course, we'll be just fine. So the slimes were pretty nice on turn 1 there. I got to play Apotheosis Neutralize and get it out of the way without taking any damage. So this should be a 0 damage slimes fight. And Quick Slash isn't really damage, but Backflip is the better card. Past me takes the Backflip, with the logic of if you have your strikes upgraded, you may not need as much damage as normal. And I actually take the damage from Golden Idol, which is very unusual for me, but Silent already has very low max health. We already lost max health to get Apotheosis, and I think I can get away with it because we're so strong. That combination of things makes me take the damage. Very unusual to take the damage. And get away with it anyway. And Dagger Spray is very easy there, of course. 12 damage when upgraded to all enemies is quite a lot. And a bit of an oof against the Jawworm here. Bad hand. So hoping that it buffs this turn so that we draw Apotheosis. And it does. Very kind, but didn't draw any strike. And a lot of defense there, so this next turn could be quite bad, and it actually is. There was still plenty of block in there, but sadly taking 17, so punished for taking damage from the Golden Idol event already. Bit sus here. Blade Dance and Dash, both excellent cards here. Probably take the Dash, though. Really strong in the early game. Block and it's an attack. All in one. Very girthy card. And I rest, because we've taken so much damage. Knowing it could be Gremlin Knob, of course. Gremlin Knob. Very horrifying. I should have played the skill pot before Apotheosis, because then we'd upgrade the skill, but ended up not mattering. Nightmare's only a energy upgrade, and the skill cost 0, of course. So inconsequential, yet real mistake there. And because our skills are all upgraded and we have Neutralize Plus, we can actually outblock the Knob here. Always playing a strike, of course, and then have to decide between defend and strike. Definitely defend, though. We have triple Dagger Spray Plus in this deck, so no way we're not getting out there. And we find a Tori. Whenever we take unblocked attack damage that is less than 5 or less, the number gets reduced to 1 damage instead. And find a Calibers. If we start our turn with block, we'll only lose 15 block instead of all of our block. Could be good if we can eventually generate enough block for that to matter, but right now it's absolutely worthless. And a card remove and buy a Fumes. Fumes is really insane here, of course. We have all upgraded block cards in our deck, and like, this Apotheosis is so strong. Fumes is going to be so good here, of course. And we're going against the Ghost, so I'm very happy about that. And now Dagger Spray is doing 24 damage, and we can block with the other card, so better than Dash. And hoping to kill pretty evenly here. This is a tough fight because you want to get rid of the slime because it frails you. You want to get rid of the other guy because it's going to keep gaining strength, but then if you get rid of the other guy, it gives you vulnerable, and then the slime hits you for more. But managed to get that with no damage taken. That's very good. And backstab might be important, but we're, again, so strong already. I just take the gamble, and the gamble will become better and better as the run goes on. Acknowledging how strong Apotheosis makes you and picking cards accordingly is pretty important. It's so insane. Woof. That was actually bad, because now I'm going to reshuffle without those 4 cards, so I may actually gamble. Should gamble. Although I may hit Dagger Spray, which would be bad. So I shouldn't gamble. So now we're drawing 4 cards, then we're reshuffling, then we're drawing another card. So all 4 of these cards in our hand right now are not in our discard pile anymore, or our next draw pile rather, and that's bad. Could have not played the escape plan and avoided this entirely. But couldn't be too bad still, only taking 2 damage so far. And Smiling Mask will reduce the cost of the card remove option at stores to be 50 gold all the time. And after image is offered, I will take that. It's not amazing yet, but speculatively it'll be good eventually. And probably better than not taking. I think right now Deflect is a better card than that, unironically. That's 7 block for 0. But of course, until we find Footwork, the Deflect is not going to be better long term. That's for sure. And I'm trying to use Calipers here instead of just killing it. Sometimes I like to disrespect my enemies. That was incredibly rude, I apologize. Blade Dance is here, that looks really good with our after image we just found. And a bit more damage would be good for the Goose. Probably upgrade a Fumes. Maybe the Gamble. So, cards that, if you draw them before Apotheosis, they go away, can be pretty awkward, like the Fumes. So we like to have the upgrade just in case we hit it before the Apotheosis, we can actually play it and not feel bad about it being unupgraded. Some bad draws here. Can gamble for Apotheosis, but then we're also losing after image, so I just pass. Tori is going to be quite good here. In fact, if we can have it weakened on the 6x6 turn, down to 4x6, it'll only hit for 1x6, and that's really insane. Essentially, just neutralized by itself blocks for 30 damage. That's pretty good. And the damage is coming along here. Looks pretty reasonable. Cooking up our Calipers here. I'd like to draw the Survivor next turn. Never mind. I still draw the Survivor next turn. That's a bit lucky. Didn't draw Neutralize, so we are taking the damage here. A bit tough. So this was definitely a pretty scary Hex Ghost fight, of course. Even with Fumes, you cannot underestimate this enemy. The Fumes is slow, and so by the time the poison is at the point where you want it, you might already be dead. But we got there. And pretty unexciting cards here, to be honest. I may take Speculative Nightmare just for fun. That seems like the most reasonable thing. Could copy Fumes or After Image, or Gamble if we find Tingsha, for example, something like that, and have some fun. Escape Plan is also a pretty good nightmare. Then there's other options like a Glass Knife. Phantasmal Killer is not happening here, I think. That's just not happening at all. So Glass Knife versus Nightmare. I do take Nightmare after all. And Pandora's Box is here, but I'm not taking that. You know what's really insane with an Apotheosis Plus in your deck is Fusion Hammer, preventing you from upgrading all future cards at rest sites. So who cares that we can't upgrade when we found a Fusion Hammer? Possibly one of the largest high rolls in the entire game possible is having Apotheosis in your deck and then finding Fusion Hammer. Also, Lesson Learned as the Watcher makes that very, very good. So if you can manage to turn a 4th Energy Relic into having essentially no downside, really, then you are very, very happy. Coffee Dripper also tends to have no downside if you are strong enough to not need a rest. which is why it's so good. Keep whiffing on escape plan. So we should be pretty strong in this Act 2 environment with Flow Energy and Apotheosis. And I'm just passing because I don't care about the damage I'm dealing because of Fumes. I know that Fumes is killing and I'm not killing with the damage from attacks. Power Pot's pretty good. Crippling Cloud's pretty good. Yes, please. Hope to draw that after Apotheosis, of course. And my god, this Crippling Cloud weakening all of them. That's blocking for 18 right there by itself. The interaction of weakening from 1 to 0 is huge for multi-hit stuff. I do Nightmare the escape plan. Very cute. Worked with After Image as well. Just seems pretty reasonable. Really would love to find a footwork. That would be great. Dagger Spray, then Blade Dance, and then I can knock down 2 of them once they're hitting me. Wow. What a turn. I knocked down all 3 birds without Whirlwind. That's pretty good. Blur Plus is here, and we have the calipers, so I could start getting the calipers set up. That's actually pretty good. And Ritual Dagger is definitely pickable here, but I take the gold instead. I tend to be averse to taking Ritual Dagger. I'm trying to get better about that, actually. I think Ritual Dagger is really quite good. If it didn't cost you health, I would click it a lot more. But I don't like the fact that it does 6 to me. Nightmare the Dash. It turns out if you can actually play the Nightmare, Nightmaring like anything good is pretty strong. Just increasing the density of dash in our deck. Didn't play After Image though, it's a bit of a bummer in this exact situation. But it's cool because all we can do at Campfire is just rest. And there's Footwork or Well-Laid Plans. My god, that's quite a choice. Nightmare makes the Well-Laid Plans really, really strong, but Footwork just a bit too good, unfortunately. And Gremlin Leader is kind of like the Lagavulin of Act 2, the fight that tends to go a bit longer. Gotta have sustained power, so Apotheosis and Fuse is gonna be great here. You really can't compare Lagavulin in this fight, of course, but there's some parallel in that sense. So I blur for next turn just in case it hits me. And it does not. Really gotta find this Apotheosis. Oof, I can kill the left one. I did not kill the left one. Now this is very awkward. I should have killed the shield guy on the left side, actually. That was a mistake. Now it will hit us. Apotheosis bottom card. I can block for a lot though. Yeah, the Mad Gremlin is already weakened. It's hard to see the weakened symbol behind Gremlin Leader's health bar there, but I checked that. And we're Nightmaring blurs now, that's very exciting. This whole run is a blur. Barely remember it. And the 50 block is going away. Actually, we have calipers. Never mind. See, this is some very cute synergy, actually, with calipers here. We blur to get it started, and then even if we can't get the blur in play on a turn, we keep a lot of it anyway. And it's dead next turn. Hit me. It's gonna hit for... How much is it gonna hit for? 26? Yeah. Wow. Math is hard. It starts at 6 times 3. I had 20 strength, therefore 26 times 3. And Happy Flowers here. Every 3 turns will gain 1 additional energy. That's a solid relic, of course. Love to find some draw now. Acrobatics, more copies of Backflip would be great. Another copy of Blur I am deeply considering here. I take a Bouncing Flask instead. More poison seems quite good here. The Fumes is not going to be quite enough, and we may draw Crippling Cloud before the Apotheosis gets played, unfortunately. So I would love to have some reliable poison here for the bosses. We're blocking for so much. Really need to have that consistent poison game plan. Nightmare Backflip seems good. So it's pretty surprising seeing the Backflip perform so, or the Nightmare performing so well this early. It's just that we have 4 energy and it's always upgraded pretty much. So just Nightmare anything, and we can actually just get away with it every turn, basically. It's really quite cool. I'm a huge Nightmare enjoyer. Tends to be a bit slow. Tactician is here a bit early, unfortunately. No Acros in the deck yet. Other cards are not quite good enough. They're more like Act 1 cards, I would say. If we had Kunai, maybe we consider the Endless Agony. Or like a Wrist Blade or whatever, but just not quite good enough anymore. Slice, of course, is... You're only taking Slice if you really need the damage. But we're way past that. And a pair for 10 max health. Considered keying it for a moment, but 10 max health actually seems pretty good. And every single time I see this fight, I do the mouse swirly because I really hate this fight. I whiffed on Escape Plan again. Hate to see it. Could have considered using a potion here, but seems past me was interested in keeping them around. How do you guys feel about me saying past me, by the way? I was thinking about that. It doesn't even, like, register in my brain, but I can imagine some people thinking that's weird, but also funny. I think it's a good bit. I think it's a good bit, personally. It's not me. It's this other guy past me. Take 1. Take a billion. Dash is a lot of block. Take actually only 1 again because of Tori. Tori is cooking right now, actually. This is a nice fundamental kind of silent deck here. Yet again, we're blocking a lot, playing our good old meat and potatoes cards, poison cards. Apotheosis, of course, is carrying rather hard. 3 common attacks. Past me is displeased. Trash relics. My god, that's a shame. And we're not really doing the Shivs thing, so this accuracy is a bummer as well. I could buy accuracy and cloak and a dagger. And then they're both upgraded because of Apotheosis, but doesn't seem great. The poison damage is already enough, probably. So I skip. See, that was a very bad shop. Unusually bad. Found a backflip, though. That's pretty good. And no shop can be too bad because card remove is a thing, which is a very cool design decision. Talking up the devs once again, as I tend to do. Managed to exactly full block there. That was cool. Not even fumes in play. We did this. Pretty good. Cloak and dagger and another backflip are both here. Probably the backflip. As many backflips as I can have, please. And knowing Skull is here, a lot of money is possible here. How much? We're right before the boss, too. I only click it twice. Coward. It is champ. That's fair enough. I wanted to have more health. But we were resting, so I could have clicked one more time, I think. Or maybe even twice more. Perhaps even thrice more. Bro said thrice. But of course, it does gain one. I should have played accuracy, by the way. It costs 0. So I can Nightmare Footwork and then not even play them, because that way I can upgrade all the copies later with Apotheosis. And this is our plan for champ. We're just Nightmaring Footwork and then Apotheosis, and then copy or play 4 upgraded Footworks. Talking is hard. And eventually we'll have so much block because of this calipers, guys. Can't forget about the calipers. Past me is absolutely cooking here. We're going to be gaining so much block. Who needs Catalyst when you can simply block for 200 and tank the entire execute hit? Very lucky to draw the Nightmare alongside the Footwork, of course. Very pleased with this. But with enough backflip and calculated gamble, it's pretty likely to get there eventually, I think. Have a free shot, futile weakling. It always breaks my immersion a little bit when enemies who are clearly getting owned say stuff like that. I think if I was designing a game, there would be something to read the room and be like, oh, uh-oh, from the monster's perspective. That's probably very hard to implement, though. It's very easy to say you would do something when you have no idea how hard it is to do that. Have a free shot, weakling. And we've done it. 300 spare block here. Pretty good fight. Poor champ. And Malaise looks great. Reducing the strength of the enemies lets us block more and more and more, get it more out of hand. And we go in Act 4, in Act 3, excuse me, and we get a Slaver's Collar. We'll have 1 more energy against elites and bosses. And a nice early shop here on the way to our Uber Duber elite. Only into elite path, but that's fine. At least we got 2. Didn't play Nooch because I wanted to get an extra card draw towards Apotheosis, of course. Still whiffed. Very sad. The difference between finding Apotheosis and not finding it is very noticeable, I will say. It's also footwork. The block difference is rather large. Gamble with Apotheosis is really quite crazy because it helps you dig for the Apotheosis so aggressively. You get to mulligan your entire hand, basically. 3 common attacks again. I actually take a dagger spray this late. That's kind of wild to me, but seems I'm interested in killing like Reptomancer more reliably. Considering Concentrate, considering Shuriken. I don't think that's really happening here. But this was quite a while ago. I don't really remember what I do. There is a Chemex, and I have a Malaise now. I should be probably thinking about that. I almost missed it right now. I'm sure past me was like almost missing it as well. Chemex I tend to not really see sometimes because it's so rarely useful, but when it is useful, you really gotta keep your eye out for it. Discard something for a fairy in a bottle. I almost leave, but then Chemex. I'm like, oh yeah, I have Malaise, cool. We've done it. So now we've got a bag of prep, additional 2 cards on turn 1. That's pretty good. And also Chem X, which will increase the number on our X cost cards by 2. So even if we play Malaise for 0 cost, it'll do 2 strength and 2 weaken. Pretty good. Sadly, our only damage here is Dagger Spray, which will do a little bit of damage to us with the Spiker. But it's actually fine, since we're blocking for enough. And I bought a Concentrate. A bit hard to explain that one. I guess with enough backflip it becomes pretty good. Prepared is upgraded, don't forget it. And upgrade all cards you no longer heal is pretty bad with Apotheosis in your deck. Gonna be taking the boss, of course. The boss. Not a great hand here, has to be said. Hydration check, posture check. Unless you're laying in bed, of course. You don't have to check your posture then. But make sure you're comfy, you know? I've been having some neck problems lately myself. Getting uncomfortable when I wake up. So I'm trying to work on that. Five energy is crazy. Pretty good. I'm hoping to find Acro eventually, and then the Concentrate will be really good. Just one Acro in this deck would be kinda nuts. Actually taking damage? No. Almost. Yeah, we nightmare to backflip here, so that's imagine being the enemies here, just watching Silent backflip 6 times in a row. Very funny stuff. Get a Mango for 14 max health. Another Fumes is probably getting clicked on here. And that seems pretty good. Maybe not, because we're against Woke Bird. Still do it? Nope. Caltrops also pretty interesting. And Caltrops is pretty fun. I don't really get to click on it very often, so I do go for the boring Fumes anyway. The problem with that is Caltrops and Fumes do a very similar thing. I would say the only enemy that Caltrops is... It's like Book of Stabbing. The Heart, in particular, is very, very susceptible to Caltrops. But most enemies, you'd rather have the Fumes. This guy's currently doing some damage to us. Could find the concentrate here. Found it. I want to play fumes, yep. So I forego the after image there. Play fumes instead. Coming back to bite me a little bit here. Maybe it was wrong. Take one. I'm not sure I'm playing after image, so I'm just drawing first. Yeah, we're getting to the point where our block cards are so girthy that like just getting the one extra from after image might not be worth it playing over a different block card, because we're actually stacking the block with calipers, so it actually matters that we're making as big of a block number as possible each turn. The downside is after image stays in your draw pile and you have to keep getting it over and over. Redrawing it rather. There's an acro. Tacticians here as well. Do not get baited by that, you cretin. Take the acro, thank God. Past me certainly is a cretin when it comes to tactician. It's a good card, but it's not what we need here. We already have 5 energy in elite fights, and we're about to go to the boss gauntlet soon. How did this happen? Taking 14? Getting 45 on the wrong turn is so annoying. Am I right, fellas? Nightmare backflip probably. If Nightmare hits backflip, we win the fight, I think. And I don't die in the process of doing that. Just so much easy draw, which gains us hella block. And then calipers. And we have concentrate as well to keep going. It's pretty good. Still don't have any burns. That's very kind of the nemesis. So I'm just tanking up, it seems. Didn't mean to draw a blur, that's okay though. I have calipers. I think I'm having a bit of fun here. I should be playing dagger spray and whatnot, but I'm trying to gain the biggest block number possible, is what's happening here. I hope that you guys can appreciate that about me. Okay, nope. I was just getting it poison flask so I could smash the end turn button. And Snecko Skull is pretty good. That's gonna increase the number of poison by 1 whenever we afflict any poison. So fumes will now, instead of applying 3 poison, will apply 4. That's really quite good. And we also found a Catalyst Plus, by the way. So that's going to really help the late game damage scaling with our poison stuff. Definitely considering playing Catalyst on the Exploder there. This is a very awkward turn. Everything's already weakened, so we are taking this damage. 8 damage, in fact. Now it's exploding, but we got there on the damage, so it's fine. Taking 16, though. Ouch. But this fight went unusually bad, I would say. That's okay, though. Another blur or another concentrate. Concentrate maybe not happening. We already have enough energy, probably. key a pen nib. Gotta take the key, of course. We are killing the heart after all. Just digging for apotheosis. Should have played fumes, I imagine. Backflip is correct for sure. Nope. Very questionable turn there, I have to say. Like, it wasn't that bad looking, but should have played the first fumes that was upgraded. Should not have played the second fumes that was upgraded. Should have played backflip when I had energy still to play apotheosis. So all of that is pretty important, but knowing I just wanted to get some poison going a little bit so I could nightmare this catalyst was probably where past me's head was at there. So a weird looking turn on the surface that ended up being totally fine. And we full blocked. Another catalyst, gonna take that. Almost took a deflect over it, but catalyst is a bit too good. It's always nice when you find the catalysts like Act 3, second half of Act 3. Then it's like, that's like the perfect time, like right when you actually start to need them. Sometimes it all goes right for you. Ouch. Speaking of going right, we're getting hit for 16 plus 18 plus 13. 47? Wow, actually managed to full block that. Impressive. Stacking the block for the blur, of course. I am 1 second monitor right now. What do you think Past Me's doing right now? Comment below. And we're back. Leg sweep is actually fine. I would have taken leg sweep in hindsight, I think. Not really doing much weakening right now. Shout out to Frost Prime. I mean, we are doing Crippling Cloud, I guess. But yeah. Oh, and Malaise. Alright, you know what? I take it back. It was actually fine to skip that. I take it back. It still would have been a fine click though. Like it would have been neutral at worst, I think. He only malays one thing after all. What am I doing? Should have played Bouncing Flask Catalyst. I'm still trying to make biggest block number possible. I really, really, really like to make big block number. It's like one of my favorite things to do in this game. I really love the Ironclad 999 block picks. Some of my favorites. Piercing Mail Plus, that's Snap Click. Love to see that, and we get to get 333 gold. Speaking of 333, I recently hit 333 subs on YouTube. Thank you all so much for that. If you're watching this, you're here early. Or you found this video like a year from now somehow. In that case, shout out to that one guy. Finally found the fumes. Yeah, this is a bit of a bummer. Can't really attack the spikers ever, so we just gotta hope that we can actually block here. It's nice to not have dazes in the draw pile like last time. Those repulsors are real rude. There's Apo finally. I have so much gold, by the way. Gotta spend that. Dodge and roll could be a real card. That's actually quite a lot of block for one card. And when you're retaining your block, it doesn't matter that it happens the next turn. So that's pretty cool. A red key. Really looking forward to this Act 4 shop where we have 600 gold for it. That's going to be very exciting. Nothing more fun than a shopping spree, am I right, ladies? Men like shopping too. I hate that stereotype very much. Buying things is fun. What else is your money for, right? Buying a house? You're supposed to have one of those anyway. Oh wow, that was a really good malaise. Got it into Torii range, so now we're taking 4x4, which means we'll only take 1x4 instead. Nightmare on dodge and roll? Or catalyst, yeah. So sad. It's so boring. Nightmare dodge and roll once in your life. So I'm gonna play one more catalyst, it dies in 2 turns, and then I'm gonna play the other catalyst later. By the way, gain infinite block. Could have played more cards there. Did I have a blur in my head? Not sure. Shouldn't be too much longer now. Doing plenty of damage to here. The Woke Bird. A surprisingly fast Woke Bird fight here, I would say. Not getting ruined by Woke on this day. What am I doing, man? I wanted the Catalyst again. That's disrespectful. And High Meter. High Meter's actually quite good for us. Catalyst makes it pretty free. Digging and digging for the Apotheosis, of course. I was gonna play dodge and roll, but then I decided to play afterwards instead, so small mistake there. And huge malaise. Wow, what a malaise. So this malaise plus Chemex is absolutely cooking here. It's really been quite good. Combined with Torii as well, makes it even better. I'll probably play this Catalyst and then hope that I draw the other Catalyst before it splits. or as it splits. Need to keep drawing with backflip. It is going to split, so this could be a bit awkward. Hey, there it is. GG. Would have been fine though. Anyway. And to thump, deep pulsing dread. On to Act 4. I feel like I've had some pretty unhinged commentary this time around. I apologize. Second gamble is here. Seems pretty good. Relics are again absolute trash. Bottled Flame is going to make our deck worse. Hand Drill does nothing. And Akabeko is not very useful in Act 4 usually. Consider a Discovery. Actually take it. I might buy a Hand Drill for the memes. Like, how often do you get to click on Hand Drill, right? Something in my brain is telling me I clicked on this Hand Drill. This run was like a couple weeks ago now, but I buy Akabeko and Hand Drill, because why not? We're not buying anything else. It could do something in this fight, specifically. Footwork. Predator? Oh, Bullet Time. That actually makes quite a lot of sense. Gotta say. Would love to play... I can play Acro. It costs 0. I gotta remember that. That's not a 3-cost Bullet Time, that's a 0-cost Bullet Time. So play Acro first. There's Apo, that's really good. Okay, now we do it. Probably Nightmare Malaise, actually. With Chemex, it's actually quite good. Completely destroys the spear here and lets us get through the artifacts this turn. Even got to save some with Calipers there. And this is going to be a good turn. It's going to be a great turn. -7 strength. -10. Oh, right, they're upgraded as well. So it's 1+2 for each of them. And then 1+1+2 for the first one. For 10 total. So this fight's going swimmingly, dare I say it. 69, nice. I don't really care about the funny number, guys, if I'm being honest, but there's something magical about it appearing naturally in video games that makes it funny to point out. I try to keep it low-key, though. I'm not like, you know? Those people give me bad vibes. Ornamental Fan is here. Every time we play 3 attacks in a turn, we'll gain 4 block. Forgot to mention also the Mercury Hourglass, which is dealing 3 damage to all enemies at the start of each turn. And then I'll go over Akabeko and Hand Drill because I forgot to talk about those. Akabeko is going to deal 8 extra damage when we play his first attack each combat. And Hand Drill says, if you break block on an enemy, you apply vulnerable to it with an attack, right? Because other things don't break block. No, it has to be an attack. Like, lightning orbs could break block, for example. Stuff like that. So yeah, has to be an attack. Otherwise, completely worthless in this fight anyway, so that's all that really matters to us. So I Nightmare Malaise, and that way throughout the fight we'll just keep drawing these Malaises again. And every time it tries to multi-hit us, we'll just neuter it. Seems good. And then eventually win with Catalysts. I should have played block pot there. It's gonna gain me actual block here. Looking for Piercing Wail now. Concentrate's still in there, I could keep digging. Neutralize. Didn't find concentrate though, unfortunately, so just gonna have to lose this block. Ew. 50-50 has been lost. L's in the chat. Didn't play Catalyst, just not enough poison for my liking. Now it has 7 instead of 3, that's a lot more. Now I use the pot finally. Down to 11. Still have Fairy in a bottle, by the way, no real danger at all here. We are having a bit of a hard time getting actual block here, but didn't get to Nightmare Footwork. That's okay. And we got Piercing Wail coming up. Decided to get rid of that. Trying to find more malaise soon. Never found a Wally Plans after we skipped the first one for a Footwork, unfortunately. Wally Plans, of course, a huge part of many, many silent wins. And we whiffed on that. Very sad. Still didn't find our last malaise, that's a bit sad. But it's okay, still living, and we should be killing him 3 turns here, so. We never die anymore, I believe. Now we truly never die anymore. GG's. So bought the I discarded the Fairy in a bottle. Bought that just to earn some insurance earlier. Never actually needed it, so that's pretty good. Ornamental Fan, 0 block gained. Hand Drill, 0 vulnerable applied. Very sad. So we applied 132 instances of poison there. That's what that means. Since we found the Snecko skull. A very cool, solid run. Never really too scary at any point. Off the back of the power of Apotheosis from floor 0. Definitely insane. And Tori only preventing 24 damage? It seemed like it was doing a lot more than that, but whole run, only 24 damage. So that's why Relic Stats are so important. It might seem really good, but actually not even really that impactful. So yeah, if you're still here, have you not subbed, have you not liked the video, thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.